What's going on? My apologies, YouTube. I'm just getting up and running here. Welcome to UFC. What the fuck am I saying? Jesus Christ. I just got back from the airport, and I was rushing to get this all set up, and I just need to start over. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to KO Bets. My name is Bill. We've got UFC Fight Night. Pavlovich against Blaydes tomorrow. Should be a really good card. I think we've got 11 fights to go over in total. I pulled up my wrong script here. What a disaster. What a disaster. Come on, just give me my... Welcome to KO Bets. My name is Bill. This is the show where we discuss betting strategies for the upcoming UFC events. I'm here to help make you some money, provide you with some entertainment tonight. Yeah, like I said, typically we're starting at 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Fridays, but I just got back from Houston. I was there all week. I probably got home like 20 minutes ago. Kind of got the stream set up very poorly, but we're here, and consistency is important. Tonight's show, we'll be discussing UFC Fight Night, Sergey Pavlovich taking on Blaydes. I don't think we're going to do trending topics. We got in trouble 2 weeks ago, so I think I'm going to still be on detention from that. And then we're going to hang out. I'm going to try and get through this pretty quickly. Before I get started, though, let's get some housekeeping done. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the support tremendously. I am doing an NFT giveaway upon hitting 100 subscribers. We're at 63, so I appreciate that support. Before we get started with this week, we got to take a look at last weekend, and we had a good weekend. We had a really good weekend. So let's just recap that quickly. I know my Twitter bets, which, by the way, if you don't follow me, you can see it on the screen there. I don't know if you can. Yeah, my mouse shows up right where I'm highlighting. That's my Twitter. If you want to follow me there, I think we finished up like 5 units last weekend, and maybe I don't know. We hit some sick bets. We didn't risk all that much. Holloway against Allen. Yeah, Max looked really good. Once again, just showing he's, just championship caliber, but he's in Volkanovski's division, so he's just number one contender, and looked really good against Allen. I had 3 or 4 rounds for Max. I saw some people argue for 3 rounds for Allen. I don't know. I thought it was the right decision, and it should have been unanimous. Edson Barbosa clipped Billy Quarantillo. That was kind of a bummer. But, yeah, Edson hurt him bad. Sorry, my cat just, latched onto my back a little bit ago. It hurt. All right. Then we had Dustin Jacoby taking on Azamat Mirzakhan. We picked Dustin Jacoby there, so that wasn't a good pick, but I don't think we bet on that fight. The next fight we had was Tanner Boser taking on Kudalaba. We ended up winning this one. I think we even had a first round finish in a parlay, which we got the first round knockout. So that was pretty sweet. Pedro Munoz looked really good against Chris Gutierrez. I thought he won the fight unanimously as well, so we got that one wrong. Yeah, Rafa Garcia was just too much for Clay Guida. Clay Guida's durability showed through, though, so we got the decision result there with Rafa Garcia. Bill Algeo looked absolutely great. I think I had Bill Algeo. Well, we picked Bill Algeo. I don't know if I suggested the finish, but we definitely picked Bill Algeo. Brandon Royval, that was a great underdog pick for us, beating number 5 Mateus Nicolau. First round knockout, too. I think we even had the finish for that at like plus 275. So that was incredible. Zach Cummins looked really good. And then they both retired, though. Both of these guys. Zach Cummins was definitely the better fighter, but I don't know if these guys should have been fighting. But it was a fun fight. Ed Herman just got kind of fucked up, you know? Actually, I guess the strike count is a little... I don't know. Yeah, it did look like he got punched at least twice the amount of times that he was dishing it out on Zach Cummins. He was tough, and then they called it very late, the knockout. Jillian Robertson looked great. I think... Well, we took Jillian Robertson. It was like basically a pick-em, but she was at minus 125. Daniel Zellhuber, that was a great bet. We got him at minus 130. I thought that was great value. He looked really good. Bruna Brazil looked like ass against Denise Gomez. Gomez is an entertaining fighter. I thought Brazil should have been a little bit better. I thought she would have held a technical striking advantage, but Denise is one of those fighters. It just seems like she's just gonna throw haymakers, and if you're not willing to stand in there, you might lose. And she got knocked out. She got knocked out bad. Just looked a step slow. Aaron Phillips versus Gaston Bolanos. We got the win there. Bolanos won. All 6 of his wins heading into this were knockouts, and this one was not a knockout, though. And then this was our other dog pick, Jocelyn Edwards against Lucy Pudilova. I thought Lucy won that fight pretty convincingly, to be honest, with the 2 takedowns, and then I thought it was... you can see, like, round 1... She gets taken down. I think she was controlled for a long time, like half the round. And then, Jocelyn was better on the feet, but I thought Lucy took round 1. I thought Lucy took round 2. Had, again, a lot of control. And then I didn't think the 3rd round was... I thought Jocelyn Edwards was for sure better in the 3rd round, landing more significant strikes, but... I just don't... I didn't really think it warranted victory for her, but we were fortunate to get that right for the sake of counting. So we went 1, 2, 3... 10-4. Still haven't had a losing week as far as money line predictions, which is sweet. And now we got to go over Pavlovich versus Blaydes this week, which I'm looking forward to this fight. Starting off the night, we've got Brady Highstand taking on Badrigal Dana. Brady Highstand, he's 1-1 in the UFC on a 1-fight winning streak. He's training out of that New York gym. And Badrigal Dana, he is 3-3 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight losing streak currently. Badrigal, what he brings to the table is really big power on the feet. The stand-up approach and advantage is going to be for Badrigal. I think the takedowns are where Brady Highstand's probably going to see the most success. I do want to pull up the SureDog And we're probably going to leverage this quite a bit today. Simply because it's just a long week being in Houston, and it was all for work, So it's just a long week there. So I just want to see what these losses came via. One's a knockout. Yeah, so I for sure think Brady Highstand has the recipe and the skill set to win minutes against Dana, but if he gets caught by someone with Dana's power, there's a good chance he's probably going down. He's probably going to get knocked out. So it's an interesting fight. I kind of want to go with Brady Highstand just because of the fact he's winning minutes. But it's definitely a sketchy fight and not one that I would recommend betting on. But I'm going to roll... I'm switching on this one, but I'm going to roll with Brady Highstand. I think I like his persistency in the grappling. Like we saw against, with Merab and, was that Piotr Jan? Against Merab. Just like, Jan didn't even have a chance to strike with him. So I think if Brady Highstand's persistent with his grappling, and he just doesn't get caught, I think he'll be in good shape in this fight. He is a slight underdog, it looks like, at plus 130. I don't recommend betting on Badgergol at minus odds. Odds makers don't like this to go the distance. I mean, I think if you like Brady to win, what are Badgergol's losses? Yeah, I mean, 3 out of 4 losses go to decision. That's kind of how I feel it'll go. Is if Brady Highstand wins, I think it's going to a decision. So I think it's interesting to see the odds for the fight to go the distance here at plus 165, especially when the money line is so close. But I'm guessing the odds makers like the KO method of victory. Yep, for Badgergol. And I guess I'm going with the Brady Highstand decision. And I don't feel amazing about it. I'm switching off of Badgergol, who I highlighted just as having good power. How's that takedown defense for Badgergol? 6%. It's pretty good. I kind of think that gym's, as long as they're persistent, I kind of think they figured out a good method and way to avoid getting hit. I'm just looking at this. I think I missed this fight in my preview, so we're just gonna do it live, which might be a problem because Karine Silva, is she making her debut? She's not listed here. Did this fight get canceled? I thought Priscilla missed weight by like a lot. What's her name? Cachoeira versus... Yeah. Cachoeira missed weight by 4 pounds, so the fight got canceled. So we're gonna skip over this one. Not sure why it's there. The next fight we've got is Francis Marshall taking on William Gomez. I wasn't super impressed in Williams Gomez, his debut. I think we did pick him. Brings a good grapple, heavy approach, decent stand-up. I just think this is a tough opponent against a fighter like Francis Marshall, who also brings really, really good grappling to the table. And then as far as on the feet, just carries a significant output advantage. And I just like him to be more active in this fight and to win. Williams going to be a little bit taller. I don't think that's really going to make a difference. You can see the reach is pretty similar. So I'm going to roll with Francis Marshall here. Yeah, Priscilla got canceled. Minus 195 for Francis is the favorite. I'd say this one does go the distance. Just with a couple of grapplers, I think it will go the distance. I'm curious what Williams' losses have come via. 4 submission victories for Francis Marshall. Interesting. I'm kind of thinking this one does go the distance as well. And Francis Marshall just is the minute winner, gets a convincing decision out of this. All right, so we're going to go Francis in this fight. The next fight, we've got the brother of Kamaru Usman. We've got Muhammad Usman taking on Junior Tafa. I'm excited, I guess, to watch this fight just because I think someone's probably going to get hurt at some point. If the fights kept standing, Tafa stands probably a pretty good chance to win. He's only 4-0 in MMA, and so he's making his debut. His first fight was in 2022, July of 2022, and he's just been knocking people out. I think he could knock out Usman, but I'm not convinced like Usman's not going to go in there and just wrestle. I feel like if Usman approaches fighting in any similar way to his brother, he's just going to be very strategic in the octagon, go in there, grapple. We've seen him do it before professionally. Otherwise his output's really low on the feet. He does carry a lot of power. Knocked out Zach Pauga his last fight, or whoever that was. I think it was Zach Pauga for the Dana White Contender Series. Yeah, Pauga gets that second round KO, but you don't love the output. So I'm kind of back and forth on this one, but I'm gonna go with Muhammad Usman. Just hopefully he doesn't get knocked out. That's the recipe to win. Just get takedowns. Usman is a slight dog at plus 100. And I'm decision. That's actually really good value, but yeah, they like the Tafa KO. But I guess I like the Usman decision, maybe. And I will post all of my official picks on Twitter tomorrow morning. I really need to look at some of this a little bit better, but I'm going to roll with, on the money line prediction, Muhammad Usman. I think he wrestles Junior Tafa and gets the 3-round decision. The next fight is Carol Rosa taking on Norma Dumont. Both fighters are coming off of one fight losing streaks. I mean, Carol Rosa is probably, I think she's going up in weight for this fight. I think it's a close fight, but she's going to probably hold a stand-up advantage, not a cardio advantage, like a speed advantage on the feet would be my assumption, being the smaller fighter. And then I think Norma Dumont and her size is what's going to be the difference in this fight. I think Norma Dumont should try to grapple Carol Rosa. I don't think the recipe to win this is to stand for 3 rounds for 15 minutes and strike with Carol Rosa. I think if they do get in the grappling exchanges, whoever wins those exchanges is probably going to win the fight. And I think I'm going to roll with Norma Dumont. This is like basically a pick'em. Norma's a slight favorite, but that might change. So Dumont's at minus 115. I mean, this one just seems like it's got the recipe to go the distance at minus 330. I'd say I like the Dumont decision, which so did the odds makers. Kind of a sketchy fight, but like in my mind we saw, who did we see? Was it Carol Rosa and she just got like wrestled by McCann? Yeah, I remember this fight. She just gets like wrestle-effed by Sarah McCann. So I think Norma Dumont being the bigger fighter, I really think she should exploit that wrestling path to victory. Ronnie Yaya taking on Montel Jackson. Ronnie Yaya is on a 2-fight win streak. The dude's got 21 submission victories. Very, very dangerous jiu-jitsu artist. I'm just not crazy impressed with what I've seen from him thus far. He's taking on Montel Jackson, who is impressive, in my opinion. He's on a 3-fight win streak. I think he's solid all around, and I think he just carries big power and is probably going to hurt Ronnie in this fight. Odds makers agree. Montel's the heaviest favorite on the card at minus 580. Odds makers don't like it to go the distance. I'd have to agree with the knockout method of victory. Could even be early, but I'm going to go with Montel Jackson. The next fight we've got is Ricky Glenn taking on Christos Giagos. This is an interesting fight. I really like Ricky Glenn. His cardio, his ability to push a pace, I like it a lot. I like his output here. And then what I like about Christos Giagos is the grappling ability. I don't think Ricky Glenn has terrific 68%. Yeah, it's not terrific takedown defense. And I think Christos Giagos is probably going to secure takedowns early. This is a weird fight. I think I like the output and the durability of Ricky Glenn. I think, like, just the longer this fight goes, the more the fight swings in his favor. I don't think Christos Giagos is going to get him out of there with anything. So I'm rolling with Ricky Glenn there. I'm rolling with Ricky. Now we're on to the main card. We've got Jeremiah Wells taking on Matthew Semmelsberger. This should be a really good fight, really entertaining fight. I am just super impressed with Jeremiah Wells and how he looked in his last fight. Who's that against? Court McGee. And knocks him out. Super durable Court McGee. Just knocks him out in the first round. Jeremiah Wells is good. I think he's really, really good. And Semmelsberger, he's super entertaining, carries big power. Both of these guys carry big power. I think the difference is going to be the grappling. If it does get to that point, I favor Jeremiah Wells. It's an interesting fight. I think a knockout. Maybe, probably not fight of the night material, just because they carry so much power. But maybe. I'm definitely excited for this one. But I'm gonna roll with Jeremiah Wells. I think he's really, really good, well-rounded, and I just have been super impressed with him thus far. So it is a pick'em. We're rolling with Wells. To agree. I lean towards either the Semmelsberger KO or Wells KO, but I don't hate like a decision result for either of these guys. I don't hate that. I don't think it'll happen just because they both hit super hard, but I don't hate that. Yasmin Lucindo taking on Brogdon Walker. Yasmin Lucindo's 0-1 in the UFC. Brogdon Walker's 0-1 in the UFC. I think for Brogdon to win, she's going to need to keep this fight standing. And I think if Yasmin would like to have a convincing win, she should grapple in this fight. And it's as simple as that. I think on the feet, it's a very close, competitive fight. And then I think Yasmin's better in the ground department. So I'm going to roll with Yasmin to wrestle for 3 rounds. Brogdon's got some losses on the record. One knockout loss, but yeah, I'm leaning towards the Lucindo decision. She's a pretty heavy favorite at minus 360. I'm not betting on that. And the odds makers do like this one to go the distance. I'd have to agree. Although Lucindo's got some big power, it looks like. Interesting. So maybe there is a little bit of value on that the fight doesn't go the distance at plus 165. Interesting. Here's another fight I'm excited for, and I'm just excited to see Bobby Green's antics inside the octagon. Bobby Green taking on Jared Gordon. I think this is a big step up in competition, especially in the striking. I don't think you can even argue that Jared Gordon's ever faced a striker the caliber of Bobby Green professionally. Bobby Green is coming off of a 2-fight losing streak, and he has been known to be dumb. Like, he was beating Drew Dover, and then he just gets caught. And I just would like to see a little bit better IQ sometimes out of Bobby Green, because he is extremely talented, and he should win this fight. But he, keeps the low hands, and he left himself in that fight subject to a KO. I don't think Jared Gordon's got anywhere near the punching power that Drew Dober possessed. I think if he wins this fight, he's got to figure out how to wrestle with Bobby Green. I really don't see that happening. Bobby Green's really well-rounded. But I think where he really messes with Jared Gordon is just in the stand-up approach. I think this is a big step up in competition, and I think Gordon's skills kind of fall short in a matchup like this against Bobby Green. So I'm going with Bobby Green. Odds makers do have Bobby Green as the favorite at minus 265. I haven't said anything yet, but I would maybe consider a Bobby Green parlay piece. Odds makers like it to go the distance. I'd say maybe there's even some value on the knockout at plus 300 for Bobby Green. I just think he's way better than Jared Gordon in the stand-up department. The co-main event, it should be interesting. We've got Brad Tavares taking on Bruno Silva. Brad Tavares, he's on a 1-fight losing streak. Just lost to Dricus du Plessis. Bruno Silva's on a 2-fight losing streak, and he just looked like ass against Gerald Marchart. There's no other way to say it. Against Marchart, he was just fucking terrible. He got outstruck by Marchart. This is a dude who goes 15 minutes with Alex Pereira. The very next fight is against Gerald Marchart, and I think he got outstruck in that. Like, yeah, Marchart, 46 significant strikes. Silva, 29. He looked like shit. That being said, I think he is the better fighter than Brad Tavares, if he's not looking like Dookie. This is one, I've got something in the back of my head just telling me, like, you fool! You fool! Did you watch Bruno Silva? I did, and he looked awful. He looked absolutely awful against G3. I just think he's gonna knock out Brad Tavares. He carries insane power, Bruno Silva does, and he's really dynamic as a striker when he does get it going. But against Gerald Marchart, that was awful. that was just absolutely awful. Maybe I'll look at the weigh-in photo just to see how he's looking, because he did not look anything like he did against Pereira, or even the fights prior to that when he was knocking people out. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with Bruno Silva here. Bruno Silva is the slight underdog at plus 135. Odds makers don't like it to go the distance. They like the Tavares decision, which I would agree. If Tavares wins, probably a decision. And then it looks like the Silva knockout is the second most popular pick. I mean, significant strike-wise, we've seen Brad Tavares get knocked out before, so I guess I'm on board with the knockout. I was going to say, maybe that decision at, like, look at that. Plus 750 if I'm picking Bruno Silva, why wouldn't I sprinkle a little bit on that? Just like a quarter, like, I don't know. We'll see. Sergey Pavlovich taking it. I do think if Bruno Silva wins, it's a KO. I think it's a KO method of victory. Sergey Pavlovich taking on Curtis Blaydes. Pavlovich, crazy power on a 5-fight win streak. Just absolutely crazy stats. All 14 KOs came in round 1 for him. He's been in 15 first-round finishes. He's gone 7 straight fights with round 1 finishes. The dude's really, really powerful. And then you got Curtis Blaydes, who's also very powerful on a 3-fight win streak. I think it gets underrated in this heavyweight division, what he brings to the table. Incredible wrestler. Incredible wrestler. So I'm definitely curious to see how this one plays out. I'm excited to see this one play out, but I'm going to roll with Curtis Blaydes on the money line pick. I think he's able to use his wrestling to handle Sergey Pavlovich, and then he eventually gets it out of there with some ground and pound. I think that's likely the result. I'm sure the odds makers are very... Let me close the poll up. Let me see what my audience says. Curtis Blaydes, yeah. Yay. Alright, let me pull this back up here real quick. Okay. So Curtis Blaydes, slight favorite at minus 170. Sergey's dangerous, though. Odds makers don't. Yeah, and they like the knockout for both fighters. And I'd have to agree with that, so... Yeah, for sure an interesting fight. I don't think Curtis Blaydes should mess around at all on the feet, to be honest. He just needs to get the takedowns. Because I don't think anyone's making out at round 1, to be perfectly frank. So round 1's at minus 110 there. I might sprinkle that in like a round robin or a parlay. I'm not quite sure, but I don't want to keep this going too much longer. Like I said, I just got home within probably the hour, about an hour ago, and I'm tired, and I'm going to go eat some dinner and go to bed, but I appreciate you tuning in tremendously. Again, if you wouldn't mind, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the support tremendously. Go ahead, give me a follow on my Twitter, and I'll post some picks tomorrow, my official bets tomorrow, my wagers. And I think we got Tank Davis against Ryan Garcia, and I did put a bet on Ryan Garcia like ages ago. I'm curious kind of what that's... I think the odds have improved for Ryan Garcia. Let me just double check that. Oh, and I put a little bit on the Nuggets because they were down. Let's do open bets. Plus 210. Oh, it's not that much different, but I placed that on March 11th, so it's just been chilling here for a little bit in my open bets, but I don't know what to think in that fight. To be honest, I don't really watch much of either of those guys. I might tune into it though tomorrow, just because it is a big fight for the sport. So I might tune in. That'll be like the first boxing match I've watched since McGregor too. So I'm going to stop talking. Appreciate you tuning in. My name's Bill. This is KO Bets. Peace.